Good morning, class 8th. Our topic for today's class in English is Shah Abdul Latif. Okay. Shah Abdul Latif is a saintly man who spreads the message of Islam. As you know, Islam, our religion, is the religion of peace and harmony. हमारा दीन इस्लाम अमन का मज़हब है and it teaches us the lesson of brotherhood and equality of mankind. So Almighty Allah has sent down so many prophets for this purpose to spread the message of Islam, and for this purpose many of the prophets came, and our last prophet, holy prophet, he set the best example, and his followers were spread day by day, and one of them is Shah Abdul Latif. He is a saintly man, एक सूफी बुजुर्ग गुजरे हैं, ठीक है, who was born in 1102 Hijri in a small village called Hala Haveli. His father's name was Sayyid Habib Shah. His mother died at very early age. Shah Abdul Latif, he was a very simple man, and he also married at very early age, and he find satisfaction in the love of God. Most of his time is spent in praying Allah. So day by day his devotees grew larger and larger. Okay, Shah Abdul Latif just left his home after the death of his father and wife. He just left his home and started living in a small mound. Mound means a small hill made up of soil, टीला, ठीक है, मिट्टी का एक ढेर. उन्होंने अपना घर छोड़ दिया and he go over there and started living over there. Therefore he is called as the saint of the Bhit, and Bhit is called as mount in Sindhi language, in सिंधी ज़बान में मिट्टी के टीले को भिट कहा जाता है. Therefore he is popularly known as the saint of the Bhit. The saint of the Bhit. Why? Because he lives over there. His ancestors or forefathers migrated from Afghanistan, and he came to live in Sindh. He liked the province of Sindh very much that they decided to spend rest of their life in this province. And Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai, he also just spent his life in the province of Sindh. Okay, Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai was not only a saint, but he is also a great poet and a great musician as well, and he loved the simplicity in music. He did not like difficult music, but according to him the music should be simple, and for this purpose he invented a simple musical instrument as well. Musical instrument, and the name of that instrument is tamburo. Okay. Sometimes he go to sit at the bank of the lake or sea because he finds so much calmness and peace by sitting over there, and while sitting at the sea or the lake he just composed poetry and said different verses in Sindhi. Therefore he is also called as the great poet, or he composed verses, and his collection of poetry came to be called as the Shah Jo Risalo in Sindhi, or Shah's poetry in Sindhi. It is called as the Shah Risalo. After his death, the devotees who spread all over the world, they just collected his poetry and they just compiled all the poetry and verses given by Shah Abdul Latif, and they compiled at one place, and his poetry come to known as Shah Risalo. Okay. After his wife's death, he just become restless, बेसुकूनी की ज़िंदगी गुजारी, and he never returned to spend a normal life again. Therefore, he just dedicated his life to the religion of Islam. उन्होंने अपनी सारी ज़िंदगी जो है दीन इस्लाम के लिए वक्फ कर दी, and he just find peace in Allah's name. अल्लाह के नाम में उनको एक दिली इनर सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलती थी, हासिल होती थी. उन्होंने तमाम तर दुनियावी काम तर्क कर दिए, ठीक, और अपनी सारी ज़िंदगी इसके लिए वक्फ कर दी. डे बाय डे as days passes on, by the passage of time, his great love grew more and more. उनका मोहब्बत towards Islam, दीन इस्लाम के लिए बढ़ती गई, and as a result of this his devotees just increased in a number, vast numbers. उनका जो मानने वाले थे, his followers, the number of his followers increased day by day. उनके मानने वाले पैरोकार जो थे उनके नंबर बढ़ते जा रहे थे. And okay, so Shah Abdul Latif was not only a saintly man, but he is also Shah Abdul Latif was not only a और पायस यानी मुत्तकी और परहेज़गार इंसान थे, but a very good musician and poet as well. And he loved the simplicity in music, and the message of his poetry is love. He wants everyone to live with brotherhood, and there should be no discrimination among men, as in the last sermon of our holy prophet, according to him, no one is superior than the other. No, not on the basis of color, caste, nothing. All the men are equal, and he believes in the equality of mankind. Therefore, his Urs was held in 14th Safar every year, and all the devotees all over the world, they just came to celebrate his Urs with full of zeal and dedication, and pay a high tribute to Shah Abdul Latif for his efforts which he made towards Islam and the poetry done by him. So class 8, this is our class for today. I hope you have understand the topic and the chapter very well. That's for all today. Thank you, class.